Welcome to Bitcoin RoadShow. Today I'm going to speak about what might happen to DeFi. So if you think about it, if first of all, what I'm going to explain is the fact of what's happening right now, in case I haven't covered it in the last video, which I think I did, which is what most likely will happen is crypto will continue to go down further, and there'll be it's almost like a game of chicken, right? At what point will people, institutions decide low is low enough, and that will be triggered by them monitoring how much small players, which includes the public, but also small investment houses, all sorts of stuff, when they start to buy in. Once they start to see a change in overall sentiment, that will trigger a massive buy opportunity, but it won't be on the exchanges, it will be on OTC platforms. That means it won't affect the price until the next day or 12 hours ahead or something like that, right? By then it'll be too late. It'll start to basically hyper deflate, so the price of Bitcoin will skyrocket. The price of gold and silver will too, and platinum. I don't think, since I'm mentioning metals here, I don't think palladium will make a recovery. Depends how many people get affected in the world. That's another thing that might affect the triggering of this. If enough people die, there'll be such a glut of commodities that are free to buy. It might make it so that even things that do recover, like Bitcoin and gold, they may not actually reach highs. Because if you imagine all these different asset classes, even if derivatives, stocks, bonds, even if they all go down and effectively fail, and trillions of dollars gets wiped off the economies overall, the global economy overall, it doesn't mean that gold is going to reach a purchasing power per ounce of 100,000. Because if there's, let's say, even 10% of the population in the world dead, because let's say the virus does come back more than once and can reinfect people again and again. That's what might happen. Let's say there's other mutations of the virus that come along, might do the same thing. So either way, what we have got going on right now is a situation where the finance 1.0, the old financial market, is going to die. Even though dollar's rallying right now, that's only because they're vacating. They're basically liquidating, or what do you call it? It's capital flight back into the dollar and back into the pound and the euro and even the yuan probably. And what will happen is these institutions are getting ready. As I said before, they'll wait. There'll be some trigger that says, right, this is the right price. It's not going to go lower, or it's not worth risking it going lower. And also we can catch out enough people shorting, liquidate shorts, that kind of thing, by striking now. And they will buy a shit ton of gold, a shit ton of Bitcoin, and many other cryptos. What I don't think they'll buy is possibly much Ethereum. And the reason why is because with the almost death of the ICO market, and the fact that DeFi pertains to finance 1.0, you might find that Ethereum doesn't recover at the same rate as all the mineable first and second gen tokens out there, or coins, sorry, cryptocurrencies. That would also mean things like, obviously all the other DeFi projects like synthetics and everything would also not recover, but it also may mean that other smart contract platforms and the like don't recover. So possibly things like Cardano, even Digibyte, although that's a fast mineable currency. I think what you might see is a situation where Bitcoin's going to do well, and in the meantime, until it speeds up or until it can handle more speed, or just because the fact that Bitcoin's worth so much on a unit value. Let's say the eventuality is that one Satoshi equals $1. Well, you still won't have fungibility down to a few cents, will you? So maybe the thing that handles that ends up being Digibyte, Litecoin, Monero, because our governments, if they don't collapse, will still be spying on us, will still be, you know, absolute parasites for everything they can take from us. So that those things won't change fundamentally. If anything, they'll get a lot worse, because with less people to suck from, the governments will become more and more desperate, more and more greedy. So you'll most likely see, well, basically you'd be investing in companies like Chainalysis, because they'd be all over that shit like a piece of toilet paper. So yeah, that's probably today's wisdom. I'll leave it at that. Let me think what else people have been saying today that that I disagree with or not. A lot of things I'm saying today, I've been saying the other day, are coming out in videos now, which is good. And of course, if you look back on the January, February, when I said that the lows should be between 3 to 6k, and that's happening now. It's good to know I got my finger on the correct pulse. But yeah, that's probably another reason why my channel gets 1 subscriber per year and loses God knows how many. All right, cheers, bye.